What if I told you that your internet cable does nothing? That there are no submarine cables under the ocean and all internet communication is a lie?
I would say many things. Most of them unflattering to you and me both, but hopefully funny. Oh god, no. I just basically gave away my formula for videos. Forget you heard anything. Wouldn't want a bunch of Sir Sick clones running about out there. The world is not ready for that much handsome. But anyway, it's always nice to know exactly what we are getting ourselves into. Why would you even think such an, let's call it an interesting notion?
Well, let's investigate.
Yes, indeed. Let's.
This is not my world, this is not my world, this is not my world.
You know, I feel like he's trying to tell us something with that deep layered subtext of the song. I think maybe this is not his world. I know I am the smart for reading between the lines like that. Also, of course it's not your world. It's mine. It belongs to me, and has since I won it in a card game with Galactus. I'm saving it for a snack.
When I first heard about the internet cables under the ocean, I was like, this doesn't make sense.
Okay, why not? I mean, if I wanted to have high-speed, cross-continental connections that spanned an ocean, I would almost certainly use some kind of hardline connection. Because as we all know, you can be in the same bleeding room as your Wi-Fi router and it just refuses to connect to anything. Probably because Mars is in retrograde or some crap. And your phone's signal will just crap out for no goddamn reason, just when you really need it, like you're lost in a field in the middle of goddamn nowhere. So a system that supports some very important and very money intensive things is going to need to be as reliable as possible. And you just don't get that reliability without the cables.
You know, but then I was trying to make some research on this.
Make? I assume you mean do or perform, although it's probably fitting as I imagine the only supporting research you will manage is making stuff up or making something that doesn't fit. So fine, sure, you are making research. Go right ahead, sunshine.
And one thing came to my mind in the morning.
Whoa. One whole thing? You gotta be careful now, mate. Wouldn't want to overload that big old brain of yours.
Which was the max length of the UTP cable, which is this cable. It's called the UTP or Cat6 cable.
Oh my god, are you joking? He's joking, right? Please tell me he's not planning on comparing a cable you would use indoors in a domestic situation or maybe a business to the type of cable you would use to span a mother-flipping ocean. Those things are just not going to be the same. That would be like comparing a go-kart to a Formula 1 car. Yeah, sure, they're both racing vehicles. But one is effectively a toy and the other is a highly, possibly over-engineered machine designed to go as fast as possible. And I'm sorry you had to hear that the thing you like is effectively a children's plaything, but that's just how I feel about Formula 1 racing.
And this is the cable that connects your computer into your internet box or your router, basically.
Do you think he's going to make the connection, no pun intended, that the thing that is commonly used for such a basic domestic function is not going to have the same specification of the one that connects literal countries together? Well, obviously he doesn't. He made the video and has already reached his bafflingly stupid conclusion. We're just here to watch him get there.
And I was like, there must be a maximum length of this.
Oh, come on, I'm not falling for that. That's obviously a prompt for a penis joke. You aren't going to catch me out that easily. You'll have to try long and hard before... Oh, god damn it. I just made one, didn't I?
And so I was looking for the answer and I found it on this article.
Like a news or advice article? Why didn't you just go to Wikipedia? I mean, it's right there. I know wikis aren't the be-all and end-all, but for basic information it's pretty good, and it's right at the top of the, non-advert at least, search, and the information you specifically wanted is right at the top of the page itself. You could have saved yourself whole seconds, which you could have used to hang around YouTube coming up with wackadoodle unsubstantiated theories about reality for me to mock. Now, of course I don't want you to stop wasting your time for your benefit, it's for mine. as all things should be. I can only assume he doesn't like Wikipedia because it's probably run by them or something.
And people answered, and they said basically it's about 100 meter or 300 feet mark.
Okay, great, fantastic. You just found out the max length of a cable that's probably going to be used in spaces that are no bigger than a dozen or so square meters. Seems like a fine amount of usable length for that space. Now, do you think that that's the kind of specification that applies to a cable that is used over thousands of miles? If you answered yes, congratulations, you're an idiot. Let's use another simile. Do you think that a hotel would have the same specification as the average house? No, of course not, because a regular house is probably 2 bedrooms, so can sleep about 4 people relatively comfortably. But a hotel is often a tower with potentially hundreds of bedrooms because they are specifically designed to accommodate significantly more people. These two things have many of the same basic functions, but they work at completely different scales and thus are made in a completely different way. The same applies to, well, not just this cable thing, but everything. And if you think because something in your house can't do something, then the industrial version must not be able to do it either, then you are probably thicker than the actual cables they use for cross-continental communications. And they is thick.
And they also linked this Wikipedia entry, which I had a look at. And indeed, this is the Cat 6 patch cable, which is the internet cable.
Wait, I don't understand. So you are fine with Wikipedia? But you went somewhere else first? Maybe it's just me, but that seems a roundabout and wasteful thing to do. But perhaps more importantly, speaks to why you might be getting confused about certain points. If you only ever get information the long way, you are more likely to have your understanding coloured by other people. But that's probably just me thinking way too into this. And you know how I feel about thinking.
And they say here that it is 100 meter maximum distance. So this cable has a maximum 100 meter distance, and you are telling me that there are thousands of miles of cable similar to this under the ocean?
No, no one is telling you that. And maybe instead of looking up how long can poopy home cable do the working and looked into, oh, I don't know, what kind of cable that they use, you'll find out that it's something called a submarine communications cable, and one of the bigger kinds looks like this. And here's a Cat 6 for a rough size comparison. Yeah, absolutely, those two things are exactly comparable because they technically do the same job. But you know, you're probably right, I bet they don't even make them that low. Holy crap, that is a big snack boy cable, eh?
Give me a break. Not only that, I also mentioned in my previous videos that when we take a breather, we are probably actually connecting to the ether, which is the outer realm.
Well, that escalated quickly, and you want me to give you a break. I need a goddamn vacation if you're going to make a leap that vast from abject stupidity to just plain made-up madness. What the hell? Give me a warning before you pull that crap. Also, what a place to put a subscriber reminder. Well, you know what? Do that. No, to me, not to him. He doesn't need your encouragement.
And the Ethernet cable is probably actually connecting to the ether. Why else call it Ethernet cable, right?
Wow. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in the last 5 minutes or so, when considering that you don't believe in the very real submarine communications cable, that is. Quite the achievement. I mean, first off, they were called that because the guy who created them wanted them to be hardware agnostic, aka not specific to any particular machine, and thought that the name conveyed that. And I am pretty sure that the cables that run outside of your house aren't called Ethernet cables. I mean, my router connects to the outside world via a coax cable. So obviously, by your logic, with a name like that, it couldn't possibly be connecting to the ether. So go on then. Where exactly do we connect to the ether? Oh wait, I just realised you think that all types of internet cables are called Ethernet cables, don't you? Oh, you thick bastard.
It just doesn't make sense.
Correct, because that would be like thinking all vehicles are called cars. God damn, we're just full of examples today, aren't we?
Why don't they call it internet cable? No, they call it Ethernet cable. And if you haven't watched my video, please watch it. I'm going to link it in the video description below.
But I thought we were already watching your video. Oh, right, you mean there's another video. Although, well, there's actually no video in your description. Now, I would make fun of you for screwing that up, but honestly, I've done the same thing myself far too many times, and more importantly, now I don't have to look at any extra of your shit.
So this cable doesn't really make any sense. It is not connecting you to the internet, it connects you to the ether.
Would you actually define ether, please?
Here's the second meaning of ether.
Oh wow, he's actually going to do it. Oh man, I was not prepared for a woo peddler to actually define their terms. It's just so unusual. Bit flustered, if I'm honest. I mean, it's fine. It's not like it's not going to be gibberish. I'm just not used to anything more than them using a random word that has a meaning as they understand it, and not sharing that meaning for some unknown reason. Okay, go ahead.
A medium that was once supposed to fill all space and to support the propagation of electromagnetic waves.
Did you notice the use of the word supposed? They didn't put that in there for the memes. They put that in there because no one ever discovered anything that could be defined as ether. It was an idea about the consistency of space that was found to be untrue when they discovered it was actually a vacuum. Or at least that's one of them.
An intervening substance through which signals can travel as means for communication. Intervening substance? What are they talking about?
Well, diethyl ether is an intoxicant, so I imagine it makes you very chatty when you do it. So it checks out as a medium to facilitate communication. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Also, don't do that. It's probably really bad for you. Stick to wholesome, nutritious, delicious, completely safe, never dangerous in large quantities, whiskey. Please note that Sir Sick is a fictional idiot and not someone to take any advice from whatsoever. Drinking large quantities of whiskey is very bad for you and may lead to doing the big dead. Caution is advised.
Here's another meaning. The fifth and highest element after air and earth and fire and water.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't make it sound like absolute wool bullshit now, does it? Also, I thought about doing an Avatar joke there, but honestly, that show is too good for him or me, so I'ma leave it. But lordy.
Was believed to be the substance composing all heavenly bodies. You see what I mean?
I don't know. But I do know that you don't know what words like believed and supposed mean. But more importantly, do you have any of that, and let's say it all together now, goddamn proof of this Ethernet ether that you are talking about? But that isn't descriptions that themselves are clearly trying to communicate that it doesn't exist.
There's no reason to call the Ethernet cable an Ethernet cable if it is not connecting to the ether, right?
Well, speaking of technology and names, of course Apple sells fruit, Microsoft are a tiny floppy window fitting company, Oracle specialises in seeing the future, and Electronic Arts gives a single solitary shit about art. Nothing could ever have a name that is not directly related to the thing that they do or sell. That has never happened and will never happen because I have a big brain and am the smart.
Do you think when we have a Skype call and we see each other on video, webcam, that thousands of miles of cable, submarine cable, is making it possible?
Yes. Why wouldn't I? And if they didn't need it to do that, there is literally zero reason for them to pretend to, because it's not like you can make your own internet box that gives you free internet, is there? You tend to need a line rental of some description to do it regardless. Seriously, if you can just use the ether, then why are you paying for internet? Assuming it is you who pays for it and not like your carer, when you could not do that and tell us how to. I would love to save a few £100 a year. Who am I kidding? I wouldn't save it. I'd just drink more whiskey.
You know, to have this almost instant communication? Give me a break. Here's another article I found from Mental Floss. Now, this is the 2014 submarine cable map, and they are telling us that we have all these cables under the ocean, right? Thousands of miles of cable, and we have instant communication between United States and Europe.
No, you said it yourself. We have near instant. It's certainly instant enough compared to the old snail mail, but there is a delay. I wonder if that might have something to do with the fact that the signals have to travel across long cables and through servers. And it's weird how the closer you are, the less latency or ping that you get. I mean, to be fair, this magic totally real ether could have relative ping as well, but riddle me this. How come as we lay down more of these cables, the more crap we can send over the internet at higher speeds in general? Although I'm sure it'll be because they, them, their error are hiding the truth from us and slowly making it faster or what have you. But again, I literally can't see the benefit of that, seeing as we seem to need them to give us the access anyway. Otherwise, someone might have, figured out how to by now. So it was always going to cost. Why would they even bother to do that?
They say that cable installation is slow, tedious, expensive work, so why do it?
You are a remarkable man. After I think, well, that was probably his dumbest point, you just pull out a thing of beauty like that. Why do the tedious, slow, expensive work that makes you money hand over fist once done? And or makes the world a more connected place and improves the most remarkable invention in human history? I am of course referring to the Sick YouTube channel. Do you honestly think that anyone could live without my top tier crap content? No, of course not. That would be as absurd as basically every word that comes out of this man's mouth.
Look at this, it's so ridiculous. These are actors, right? And they are showing us that this is the cable that we are communicating through the ocean.
And just look at the Ethernet cable they're putting down. Wait a minute, that doesn't look like an Ethernet cable at all. In fact, that looks like one of those quote-unquote smaller kinds of international cables. It's still bloody massive, by the way. Almost as if that kind of cable isn't an Ethernet cable at all. So it obviously can't connect to the ether. Because, as we know, things always do the things they are named for, as we have already discussed. Jesus Christ, you are actually a moron, aren't you?
And you need manual labor to make this happen, right? I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Listen, mate, your incredulity is not proof that something doesn't happen. All it actually proves is how goddamn ignorant you are.
99% of international data is transmitted by wires at the bottom of the ocean called submarine communication cables. Point second, sharks are trying to eat the internet. I mean, give me a break.
To be fair, that does sound funny, but one assumes they aren't being 100% serious. I mean, sharks aren't literally trying to eat the internet, are they?
Let's have a look at this. So they are showing us that there is this cable under the ocean, and there's the shark coming, and he just wants to.
Oh my god, that dirty shark bastard trying to eat my internet! Excuse me, I just have to go punch some sharks. Ain't nobody gonna take away my internet. I smack a shark bitch right in the face. Stupid shark mouth. Sick needs its cat videos.
Bite it through because, it looks like fish or something. I mean, honestly, why would a shark go to the internet cable and want to dismantle it?
It doesn't want to dismantle it, you cretin. It wants to know what it is. Do you know how an animal with no appendages examines something? With its goddamn mouth. See how it left it alone right after it figured out it wasn't something worth its time? Maybe I should follow its lead, but I just want to know if you have anything else even more stupid to say, to be honest.
What the fucking sense in this? This is a fucking actor. This shark is an actor. Nothing else, it's just an actor.
Oh no, goddammit, I made a huge mistake. I need to get out of here before he dumbs me to death. Why, hello there, you terrible people. The best kind of people. It's me, Sir Sick. Could you not tell? I just wanted to remind you all to subscribe, push the bell icon, and to check out my various social media things for other equally pointless content. And more importantly, to make sure that you know when a video comes out. Recently, it seems YouTube doesn't want you to know because I am so handsome, famous, and good at the sex, and they are jealous, obviously. It really helps me out if you do, and apparently, if you are notification belled up, they have reset it or something, so check them settings to make sure you're getting what you're supposed to. Hopefully, we can get my numbers back up, because my self-worth is directly related to how many internet people show up on my videos. I'm sure that's completely healthy, right? Also, don't forget to panic buy Sick brand merch, and don't forget to panic crowd support the channel. Thanks very much.